Hey guys, we're on the last page of our review. Okay, so it says, which pairs of line are parallel? So if we look here, it looks like C and D are parallel, but let's see if we can find some evidence to support that. So when we look here, it looks like 92 is locked into place here, right? And 92 is locked into place. And those would work, right? Those are alternate exterior angles. So it looks like if alternate exterior angles are congruent and 92 is equal to 92, right? Then we can say that that would lock those into place. C and D would be locked in as parallel. Okay. Now, what is X? So this would be a question, an interesting question, right? I might be able to kind of think of the same way. If I look at line A, this angle, 109, and this angle, X, are also alternate exterior angles. So if we now know those are parallel, those are alternate, and they're both on the exterior side, so we know that those are equal. So we know X has to equal 109. All right, 12. What is Y? So if I look at this triangle, right, this is definitely a full triangle. I'll just highlight the whole triangle. I know two of the three angles. So we can think of this as, angle A, B, and C. They haven't really named them, but if I have three angles, I know they all add up to 180. So if one angle is 55 and the other angle is 41, and we're calling the third angle Y, we can add those together and they should equal 180. So this would be 96 by combining these, right? And then I need to subtract 96 on both sides. So we get, that would be 4, and that would be 8. 84. So that's actually one of our choices here. Now I could double check. I think that's good. Okay. Then one more for this section. It says, what is Z? So if I look at Z, I'm hoping you're thinking these are protractor pals. Both of these would fit on a protractor together. Together they make a straight line. So that is a linear pair. So I know Z and Y add together to make 180 because they're a linear pair. And I also know Y is 84. So I can figure out what Z is. So I get 96. Ooh, that worked out. Okay, so that was one of my choices. Nice. Now again, if you want to just double check, maybe you're a little paranoid, you can add together those three angles, 96, 55, and 41, and just double check that they add up to 180. All right. Okay, let's take a look at 14 and 15. It says, which street is perpendicular to First Ave? So if this is First Ave, it looks like this street would be perpendicular, right? So that would be called D Street. So I'm going to fill in D Street. Now looking at 15, a city planner wants to build a road parallel to 2nd Ave. So if this is 2nd Ave, it would really be, any of the new roads would just be going east and west on the map. Doesn't matter where it is, it would just be going east and west. So we also know it would have the same slope. So first we have to identify the slope of 2nd Ave, and then we'd know the new road, since it's parallel to it, would have the same slope. So when I think about a house, I think of the slope on the roof, right? But if this was the roof on a house, this would be considered a flat roof. So that would mean that the slope is 0 or flat. So any road that is parallel to that would also have a slope that is flat, because we know parallel lines, the slope is the same. Nice. Now let's take a look at 16. I believe 16 is actually the same question we did together in class. So a couple classes we didn't get that far, so let's go ahead and do it. Question 1, we first have to address the slope. So when I look at an equation of a line, like this line, I notice that the slope is the number in front of the x if it's in this form. So I see that the slope here is 2. Now my second step is to address this word perpendicular. So perpendicular means that the slope is the opposite reciprocal. So the opposite of positive 2 would be negative 2. And the reciprocal, I'd have to flip upside down, right? So I've done that. Now I have to pass through this point. So that's my third step. If I have to go through a point, they're giving me an x value and a y value. So if I think of this equation, the x value is 6, right? Right here. Slope we know is negative 1/2. The x value is 4. So 4. And then I can use this information to solve for b. So if I've got 6 minus 1/2 times 4, so that'd be negative 2. Okay, so we know our slope is not 2 because that would be parallel. So these have the right slope in them, right? So now we just have to solve for b here. So if we add 2 on both sides, we see that b is 8. So now we know that our answer is C. Now looking at question 17, our last one, it says, what is the equation of a line that is parallel to this line? So similar steps. First, we want to deal with slope, right? So slope is the number in front of the x if it's in that form. And now we have to deal with this word parallel. So parallel is the same slope. So it's not really dealing with it, but we're just saying, yep, I'm just going to use the same slope. And now it says we just want to make the distance between the y-intercepts 10. So remember we came up with a distance formula where it's just the absolute value of b minus a, the distance between the 2 points. So if one of the points, one of the y-intercepts is negative 4, we could plug that in. And we know that they want that distance to equal 10. So if that distance is equal to 10, it looks like we'd have to plug in 0.6, right? The 0.6, because negative 4 minus 6 would give me negative 10, and then the absolute value sign would make it positive 10. So if I think about graphing this, this is a line with a slope of 3 that intersects at negative 4. So it's kind of like up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, something like that. That's my line. Okay? So, but now I want the slope of my new line. So I'm ready to write my new line. My slope, I know, is the same, so 3. And I'm looking for this intercept, and I think the intercept of 6 works. So let's think about that. The intercept of this line would be 6, and that works, right? The distance between those is 10. The distance between negative 4 and 6 on a number line is 10. What's also interesting, though, here, I find, is there's actually another answer that would also be true. I could have gone 10 below 4, and that also would have a distance of 10. So another correct answer could have been negative 14. So these are both correct answers. Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a great evening.